When one hears the clinking of chains, it's easy to assume it's the sound of bondage. In the political realm, however, nationalism has often clinked like a chain forging unity rather than enforcing captivity. A mere whisper of nationalism evokes robust images of flag-waving crowds, the thrilling roar of independence declarations, and the murky depths of xenophobia. It's a word that can heroically unite a divided country, or malevolently split a peaceful one. Are these opposing forces inherent to nationalism, or is it simply humanity's interpretation that shifts like sands beneath political waves? Nationalism is as old as the first tribes who painted their uniqueness on cave walls, yet its understanding remains as contentious as ever. The narrative of nationalism twirls through history's pages like smoke, sometimes as a signal of promising fire, other times indicating devastating destruction. Exploring its multifaceted character is not just an academic exercise, it's a plunge into the currents that have shaped our societies, politics, and personal identities. Let's embark on this roller coaster ride through history, uncovering the mysteries and realities of nationalism. What is nationalism? A primer. Nationalism in its most basic form is the belief that one's country is superior to all others. It is the sense of identity and pride that binds people to their national community. But like any multifaceted concept, nationalism weaves its narrative into the personal as much as into the political, intertwining cultural, historical, and social threads. The nuances of nationalism can be difficult to pin down, as iterated by George Orwell. Nationalism is not just patriotism, but rather the habit of identifying oneself with a single nation or other unit, placing it beyond good and evil. Historical milestones in the journey of nationalism. The human tendency to form cohesive groups is an evolutionary trait. Yet the concept of nationalism, as most understand today, didn't take a definite shape until the late 18th century, with the conjuring of the Westphalian sovereignty in 1648. The pivotal moments include the French Revolution, which championed the notions of liberté, égalité, fraternité, and the Spring of Nations in 1848. This era unraveled purity and perils of nationalism, demonstrating how it could galvanize societies towards common goals, while simultaneously sowing seeds of discord among them. Champions and villains, prominent figures in nationalism. From Simon Bolivar to Charles de Gaulle, many leaders have harnessed the power of nationalism. Yet, it's a coin with two faces. Adolf Hitler used nationalism to justify horrific crimes against humanity. On the flip side, Mahatma Gandhi employed it to battle colonial oppression non-violently, illuminating paths towards independence in India. The duality of nationalism, as evidenced by these figures, underscores a compelling narrative of motive and morality. Some might argue that nothing mobilizes economic and social reforms like a burst of nationalistic fervor. South Korea's rise from the ravages of the Korean War to a technological powerhouse was fueled in part by strategic nationalistic policies. In these contexts, nationalism has also bolstered cultural preservation and solidarity, proving that not all its manifestations lead to discord. However, the same flame that can warm a home can also burn it down. Nationalism has been an incendiary in many of history's most devastating conflicts, including the Balkans in the 1990s. Its exclusionary nature often fosters xenophobia and intolerance, tearing apart the multicultural fabric of societies. The lesson here is chillingly clear. Nationalism's power must be harnessed with caution and conscience. From Brexit in the United Kingdom to Trump's America, recent years have witnessed a resurgence of nationalism, rejigged for the 21st century audience. These manifestations underscore both an appeal to lost greatness and a reactionary stance against globalization's pressures. The study of these phenomena reveals how modern nationalism often thrives on creating a nostalgic vision of a better time, which may or may not have existed. To truly understand a political ideology, one must listen to the voices of those living under its influence. Interviews with individuals from various countries illustrate how nationalism can shape lives through education, media, and public discourse. Each story sheds light on the intimate, sometimes hidden effects of nationalism on personal and collective levels. Reflecting on nationalism's vast impacts and intricate configurations, it is clear that its essence isn't purely beneficial or harmful. Instead, nationalism is a potent tool, the ethical application of which determines its value in society. Encouraging educated, open discussions about nationalism's role will contribute to its understanding and utilization for the betterment of all. As we disembark from this historical rollercoaster, let us carry forward the awareness that the powerful draw of nationalism requires wisdom and vigilance to yield positive outcomes for humanity. For its chains can bind us in unity or constrain us in conflict. The choice, as always, is ours.